Hello everybody, happy Saturday. I have a very exciting live for you today. It's all about retinoids, which one is right for your skin, and I have a free guidebook. So I'll let you guys start coming on. Happy Saturday, everybody. Hello, hello. Happy Saturday, happy Saturday. Okay, I have a big show today. Before I get started, today is all about retinoids, you guys. It's the #1 anti-aging ingredient in all skincare for aging. So we're going to talk about that, and I have a free guidebook. So all you have to do is DM me the word retinoids when this is, Aphrodite, Queen Aphrodite. When this posts to my regular feed, which it will do probably 15 minutes after I get done with this live. Hi, New Jersey. I have a free retinoid guidebook for everybody. And I'm just going to show you a little bit of what is to come. Pardon all the pictures of me. Oh my God, I'm so sick of myself. But in this guidebook, it shows you what kind of retinoids are right for you. It explains everything. It has retinols, retinals. There's clickable links in it to all different kinds of products. So make sure that when you're done with this live show that you DM me the word retinoid, and this will be delivered for free to your inbox. Okay, everybody. Sorry, I've got a little frog in my throat. Hi, El Paso, Texas. Okay, today we are talking about retinoids. You guys, it is a very confusing kind of topic because retinoids is an umbrella term that encompasses a lot of different variations of those. So retinol, retinaldehyde, retinoic acid, which is our TRETINOIN, these are all under this umbrella of retinoids. So when I talk about retinoids, I'm talking about all of those. I'm talking about retinols, which we can get over the counter, such as Paula's Choice or the Ordinary. These are retinols that we can get over the counter. Retinols, sorry, and then retinals are a little bit stronger, also over the counter, retinaldehydes, and then we have our prescription strength TRETINOIN. So these are all varying degrees of retinoids and all underneath, hi Netherlands, all underneath this umbrella term of retinoids. So retinol, retinal, retinoic acid, those are all under those umbrella terms. So, okay. For those of you who are on here wanting to see who the winner is of the WellCore at-home hormone testing kit, I'm going to give you guys one more chance to be able to win this. So after this show, you guys can go and tag your 3 friends on last Saturday's live show where I had Dr. Decker on here, and we were talking about women's hormones and hormonal testing. Excuse me. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry. So I'm going to give you guys one more chance to win this by tagging your 3 people in last week's live. I'm going to put the story up there after this live, and you'll be able to click on that and then tag your 3 people. And I will announce this at the end of the day on my Instagram story by tagging the person who won. So good luck, everybody. This is a way to test your hormones at home. This is by WellCore. All right. And if you want this link to this at-home testing thing, just DM me and I'll try to send you that link as well. Okay, so retinoids are considered the holy grail of all anti-aging skincare. I hate the word anti-aging. We talk about healthy aging. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, Izzy. But it's a vitamin A derivative. So the same things that we ingest into our body, we want to put on our skin. Vitamin C we put on our skin, we also ingest it. Vitamin A we put on our skin, that is a retinoid. Retinoid is a vitamin A derivative, okay? I have gone over this particular live before, but I didn't have this whole thing for you guys. So I want to just briefly touch on the benefits of retinoids, which one is right for you, and then I'm going to give you guys this free guidebook. Okay, so it's the active ingredient in nearly all anti-aging skincare, but which type is right for you? There's multiple different types. So retinoids refers to, like I said earlier, this broad umbrella term that encompasses different formulas of vitamin A, okay? Different formulas of vitamin A. The strength of each formula is dictated by the conversion process. So the more steps that it takes you to get from that product to a prescription strength. So when we're talking about retinoic acid, we're talking about tretinoin. That is a prescription strength. So how do we get from here over to here? The number of steps determines how strong that product is. Okay, the number of steps to get to the prescription strength, which is the retinoic acid, determines how strong that is. So when we're talking about over the counter, we're usually talking about retinols. Those are like the Ordinary makes a great one. Again, I love the Paula's Choice 1%, but those are the over the counter retinols, okay? And so they are the weakest because it takes them 2 steps to get over to the prescription strength. So our over-the-counter retinols are the most easily tolerated on our skin because they are less irritation. So the more steps involved to convert to retinoic acid, which is prescription strength retinol, the weaker the formula. The least number of steps, so retinaldehyde, also called Retinal, A-L, Retinal, Retinol, O-L-A-L. So retinol is going to be weaker because it takes 2 steps to get over to tretinoin. Retinaldehyde, Retinal, A-L, and those are also over the counter. Murad makes a good Retinal, which is a little bit more irritating than some of the others because it's stronger. And this also is a Retinal formula, so a little bit more stronger than some of the other retinols that you can get without a prescription. Does that make sense, everybody? So the number of steps that it takes you to get to the prescription formula, it is a weaker product over here. Not that that is bad. That's not bad. Okay, so the weaker the formula, it's the number of steps to take to get to the retinoic acid. The least amount of formula, the least amount of steps is we're going to have a stronger. So what do retinoids do? Let's just talk about that first. Like I said, it's the number one. If you're looking at any sort of ingredient that says it reduces fine lines and wrinkles and evens out skin tone and texture and helps with melasma, chances are there's a retinoid in there. There's a retinoid ingredient in there. So it is the number one ingredient when you're talking about aging of the skin. Is an oil-based retinoid stronger than a cream-based? Not necessarily, David. It really just depends. Again, so hold on one second. There's a couple of different things that can make retinols stronger. Okay, so retinols, we're still looking at over the counter, right? You can still buy these online. Retinols, you can still buy online. This, for example, is by The Ordinary. This is a 1% retinol in Squalane, which helps to moisturize the skin. This is a 1% by Paula's Choice that's in a cream formula. So not only is it the number of steps away from being prescription that is going to change the effectiveness of that retinol, but how are those other active ingredients playing playing with your skin to where they're going to be more effective. So the formulations also are important. So David, it really depends on that particular product and the formulations. So what do retinols do? Retinoids, we're going to use that big umbrella term of retinoids, which encompasses all of them: retinols, retinaldehyde, retinal, and the prescription. They're, like I said, the number one active ingredient for all photo aging. So you're welcome, David. So any sunshine that's hitting your face is causing your skin to age. There's a lot of benefit to the sun. I just went out at low level during sunrise and had my eyes into the sun, not looking directly, but that helps to change the circadian rhythm. So there's a lot of benefits to the sun. I'm High Walnut Creek, California, but it's not great in terms of the aging of the skin. No place will somebody tell you, go out and get and put your face in the sun without any protection, and that's going to be a positive aspect of aging. It's not. not when it comes with the photoaging of the skin. Photoaging is the change of the skin in relation to the sunlight that is hitting it. So what do retinols, retinoids, and retinols, and retinaldehydes, and retinols, and all of the prescription stuff, what do these retinoids do? They decrease wrinkles, it increases cellular turnover, stimulates collagen production, thickens the dermis. So I talk about microneedling and I talk about thickening the dermis because when we get older, we get that crepey skin. By the way, you guys, just as a side note, just getting sun in your back, could that help? If you have back breakouts, if you get acne breakout, that's when it can help. But you're still looking at photo damage and you're still increasing your likelihood of melanoma and skin cancer. So I try to avoid the sun at all costs. I have a lot of physical barriers like wraps and sweaters and hats and sun umbrellas. I do a lot of that, but I also make sure that regardless of whether or not I'm using makeup, which I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about, I have no makeup on today. So all I have on is a little bit of lip, and I've curled my eyelashes, and I've got some mascara on. And the reason why I wanted to come on here today without any makeup, normally when I come on here with makeup, I'm doing something to my skin. If I'm makeup free, I'm doing something. I'm dermaplaning, I'm microneedling, I'm radiofrequencing, I'm doing microcurrent. I'm doing something to my skin when I'm fresh-faced and no makeup. But sometimes I want you guys to see exactly what the treatment the following week did. So the following week, when we're talking about the thickness of the skin, which retinoids are one of the ways to thicken the skin, and so is microneedling, right? Creating those little microtraumas. So it was 6 days ago that I microneedled on camera my entire face. I spent extra time on my lips, so I really got a very deep treatment on my lips. I did my face, my neck, my chest. So this is no makeup, and this is 55 years old. I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna get up close and personal. I'm gonna show you a little bit of the skin peeling that I still have a little bit around my chin and a little bit around my eyes, okay? So get prepared, I'm getting up into the camera, you guys. Okay, so you can see there's still a little bit of flaking of the skin because the skin has regenerated over 6 days of doing that microneedling treatment where I created those microtraumas. My skin came to the rescue and resurfaced this, but also called on collagen, also called on collagen and elastin from deep within to go ahead and come to aid and make that skin tighter and brighter and more even tone. So I still have a little bit of peeling, gonna get right up in here, around my chin because I got that really deep. I still have a tiny bit of peeling around the eye area, but that's 6 days post microneedling and zero foundation on, no makeup. This is skin. This is 55-year-old skin, and this has a lot to do with what I put inside my body, right? Because when I'm doing microneedling, I'm doubling up on my collagen, which I take every single day anyways. I'm blasting it with red light, which I'm always doing anyways, but I'm doubling up on that. And I'm following this weekly protocol. So if you guys don't have the weekly protocol, afterwards you just DM me protocol, and then this will be delivered to your inbox if you check your junk mail right away and you look for an email coming from Darnell Cox. Then you put that in your safe thing and you'll get this protocol right away. And another protocol that I have available is the microneedling protocol that shows you all the different links of needle links and passes and all of that I do on various parts of my skin. So in other words, I wouldn't necessarily do the same length of nail around my eye, nail. I wouldn't do the same length of needles around my eyes that I would on the thicker part of my cheek. So this microneedling protocol kind of shows you how to do that. But those are one of the ways that you can thicken your skin through microneedling. The other way that you can thicken your skin is through retinoids. And as we get older, our skin thins. As that collagen starts to dip, which happens mid-20s, Starts to decline by 1 to 3% a year, depending on your lifestyle factors. But when that starts to dip, the skin gets thin and the skin gets crepey, and it usually happens quicker on the areas of the body that you have the most movement. So if you notice on my face, when it comes to healing, the areas that have the most movement around my mouth and my chin, look at how much I'm moving this. And for me, that's a lie. I'm a talker. So look at how much I'm moving around my mouth, right? So when you're using retinoids, this is the area that's going to be the most sensitive, because it's the area that has the least amount of collagen and elastin, because we're constantly moving it. You're constantly moving your hands. So the skin on your hands is thinner. You're moving your eyes, so the skin around your eyes is very delicate. And the same with your neck, because we're moving our necks a lot, right? So the more that you're moving that body part, the more that the collagen production will decline. So when we're talking about stimulating collagen, you want to make sure that you're doing a retinoid, and you could be doing microneedling. So again, if you don't belong to my subscription club, you can join that club in subscriptions, and that's where all of my demos lie. So I just did that full microneedling demo. That's on my subscription club, and content that they can just go over and learn from. So we're going to get back to the retinoids. I just did a little tangent there on microneedling, because one of the benefits of retinoids is to thicken the skin. So should you be using retinoids on your body, or should you only be using retinoids here? Your skin covers your whole body. So if you want to decrease the crepiness that you have in your skin and increase that thickness, which is going to make denser skin less crepey, less prone to nicks and cuts and bleeding when we get older, and just healthier skin, retinoids is the #1 topical ingredient that you can use to do that. The #1 physical manipulation that you can do that is microneedling. The #1 topical way that you can strengthen your skin and thicken your skin is retinoids, okay? I do both. Okay, so it stimulates collagen. I've got a couple questions here, but let me get through the benefits first, and then we'll figure out I'll answer some questions, and then I'll go to which retinoids are best for your skin, because this is not the time to cheat off your neighbor's paper, right? Your skin is very different than your neighbor's skin. It's very different than your friends or the other people that you see on social media. It's not a one size fits all when it comes to retinoids and when it comes to any skin treatment, right? Your skin is not the same as everybody else's, and the melanin in the skin is going to determine as well the thickness of that skin. So I have very pale, I don't have a lot of melanin in my skin, and so my skin is super thin. I'm more prone to crepiness than somebody who's got more olive tone skin. Somebody who's got more olive tone skin, you can still use retinoids, you can still do microneedling, but if you have olive tone skin, you're more prone to the less of the fine lines and more prone to the sagging of the skin, if that makes sense, because your skin is already thick, you're not having those fine lines. Still, whether you're olive skin or not, using a retinoid on your skin will help for all of that production of collagen and elastin. It's the only topical thing besides like doing a chemical peel, which we have done here online. But instead of, in addition to doing a chemical peel, it's the only topical thing that you can put on your skin that will increase collagen and will increase the thickness of your skin. So stimulates collagen production, thickens the dermis, reduces fine lines and wrinkles, evens out skin tone, helps with hyperpigmentation and melasma. So if you've got melasma, that discoloration, if you look at my skin, I've had 3 kids, so I've already gone through that hormonal stuff of having kids. I'm 55 years old, so I'm in menopause. And those kind of hormonal fluctuations are very common to have a discoloration or a melasma in the skin. But if you're using retinoids, you're decreasing that melasma. So I don't have a lot of hyperpigmentation in my skin. Most of that is red light therapy. Most of that is retinoids. and other topical stuff that I'm doing, the vitamin C serums and things like that. So in addition to fine lines and wrinkles, it's not only the aging of the skin that retinoids help, it's also acne. So the clogging of the pores, reducing the pore size. When you're exfoliating from the top, let's see if I can do a little, it's like Pictionary. If you, let's say for example, you've got a pore. Let's say this is your skin and you've got a pore and you've got a little bit of junk in there, right? When you're exfoliating your skin, if you're, so let's say your pore looks like this, which is kind of like a little bit of a bottom of an egg. If you're exfoliating your skin, I want you to look at how the size of that pore diminishes. Does that make sense, you guys? The size of the pore with skin that is not working, it's not turning over, the size of that pore from the edge to the edge is much thicker than if we exfoliate that skin, and now look how much we've reduced the size of that pore. Does that make sense? So retinoids reduce pore size. When you get up close and personal, which I will do. Let me see if I can do this on my magnifying glass. No, I won't be able to see that. But when I get up close, try to find, like, I'm not going to say try to find a pore. That's like ridiculous. But my pores are very, very small, and that's because I'm using retinoids all the time. So I'm not only will the microneedling help to reduce pore size because you're increasing cell turnover, the chemical peels will also do that, but retinoids will continually, if you're using them on a nightly basis, your pores just get smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, so it does minimize pores and it treats acne. So after sunscreen, it is the #1 ingredient for photoaging. I'm gonna take a few questions and then we're gonna figure out which retinoid is best for you. So Oreo Cow 8 says, I have thin lips and lines above my upper lip, never smoked. Help, what do you recommend? I would microneedle the heck out of that, which is what I just did to my lips the other day. I did if you look at my microneedling protocol, on my lips, it says a 0.1 to a 0.25. That's less than 1/4 millimeter deep is what I would normally do on my lips, but I did a 0.5, which is a 1/2 millimeter, and I stamped them and I went over them like 4 times. So my lips are still kind of a little dry and chapped, but they're almost, I would say by tomorrow, they're gonna be back to normal. And I could immediately feel and see a plumping effect of that, right? So anytime that you have little fine lines, whether it's on your lips or the back of your elbows or your tops of your knees, the crepiness right above your belly button if you've had kids, because I grew 3 human beings in this stomach. At 55 years old, it would be a miracle. I'd be an alien if I didn't have crepey skin on my stomach where my belly has been out to here 3 times, right? So retinoids help with all of that. So does microneedling. Okay, so I forgot what I was even going there. Oh, I know where I was going with that. So the way that you do the microneedling can vary depending on what you're treating and the location that you're treating it. So I would do a 0.5. I'd have to see what your lips look like, but I would do a 0.5. I'm going antisocial then. I would do a 0.5 millimeter right on that lip line, and then also in the meat of that. And let's see if that works. To do a retinoid close to your lip is going to be super irritating. So I don't know if I would necessarily do that first. I would hit it with some microneedling. I'd be wearing a red light therapy mask. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Don't drink out of a straw. And then last resort, you could do some tiny drops of filler right where those vertical lines are on the lip line. I don't like filler when you're trying to change the anatomy and trying to make like these giant fish lips, but for filling teeny tiny vertical lines on that lip, you could do a Sculptra, which would be a collagen stimulator, or you could even do just a regular filler in microscopic doses that will pop those little wrinkles out. And in doing so, it stimulates collagen as well because you're sticking a needle in there. It's like microneedling but more intense. If you're doing a Sculptra injections in the lip line, just for those, again, not to change the anatomy of the lip, not to have your lips look like Angelina Jolie or anything like that. You're degrading the integrity of the skin when you do that. But to pop out those little wrinkles there, to put a minute amount of like Sculptra in there is not a normal filler. It's a collagen stimulator. So when you put that in, it's mostly saline with little teeny drops of crystals in there. Like, think of it like sand. Once the saline gets absorbed by your body, you're left with just those little tiny pieces of sand that cause enough tiny microscopic bits of irritation that it stimulates collagen. You can do a filler like that that's not a filler but a collagen stimulator that will stimulate the collagen production in those upper lips. I hope that makes sense. Okay, if you use Omnilux LED mask with a retinoid, I have super low dose tretinoin. Does that cause problems? Completely unrelated. A red light therapy, I wish I had my thing right here. I do. I've got one of them. I've got the I think this is the current body. A red light therapy device. When you're doing red light, I did a live on light spectrums. Red light passes through anything. You could have a full face of makeup and it doesn't affect at all the red light because it passes through the epidermis and hits the dermis, and that's where it has collagen production and all of those other stuff. So completely unrelated. I do, however, just to be able to save the maintenance of my devices, when I wake up in the morning, my mask goes on right away. I don't wash my face. I don't put on anything weird on my face at all. I've had retinoids on my face all night. They've absorbed in, wake up in the morning, stick a mask on while I'm drinking a little bit of tea. Boom, bam, done. That's how I do it. That's how I do it. Because it's just a lot less wiping down of the mask after a treatment. Okay. But no, those conjunction, listen, if you guys have this, you guys know that if you guys have my protocol, you know that I'm mixing all of these things. I'm doing microneedling on a different body part every Sunday. I'm doing red light therapy. I'm doing prescription tretinoin. I'm doing radio frequency. I'm doing microcurrent. I'm doing dry brushing. I'm just doing them in a strategic way that keeps a wave of collagen production, much like we did when we were younger and our skin was growing. We had waves of collagen production because we were growing, right? When we hit 25, we're not growing anymore. And that's when our collagen starts dipping. So if you're doing these things at home, yeah, you're going to get like a continual collagen production as opposed to not using a tretinoin. You'll get a continuous collagen production as opposed to like just using something that's only moisturizing. You're not going to get any collagen production because you're not causing any irritation or cellular turnover. You're using a retinoid, then you're causing that cellular turnover. You're causing that little bit of irritation and you're causing your skin to turn over and exfoliate, but you're also thickening up the skin. Okay, so let me see if there was anything. How many days post microneedling do you use tretinoin? It depends on how deep I have gone, but if you look at the protocol, I'm doing a tretinoin again on Tuesday. If I put on my vitamin C in the morning on Tuesday and my face still stings, rinse off with cool water. It's too soon, and I don't use my tretinoin at night. I also have a tendency when I'm doing microneedling or something like that where I'm going to get to the brands Oreo Cow 8. When I'm doing stuff like microneedling, a lot of times what I'll do is when I do introduce a retinoid back into the picture post microneedling, I'll go to a third generation ADAPALENE, which is a great product. This is less than $20. But this is a third generation. It's great for acne prone skin, but it's also a lot less irritating. So you can have a great effective over-the-counter retinoid that is a third generation that if you are prone to rosacea or you're somebody that you're constantly doing, retinoids and you're constantly doing different things to your skin, to have a retinoid that is less irritating in your cupboard is a plus. And a lot of people just use this as opposed to going to all of the other big guns, you know, the big, more powerful things. Just even doing this as opposed to just a moisturizer, you're already improving the health and the quality of your skin. Okay, let me see if there is anything else. And then I'm going to get to the brands. I'm going to do all of it. Is there any way to rewatch this? Yes, I'm going to post it to my main feed. Melasma is due to hormones. Melasma is due to hormones. Yes. Oh my gosh. I did a whole live on, let's see, I just want to make sure I have enough time. I've got 30 minutes. I did a whole live on hyperpigmentation, melasma, and sunspots. So I will try to put that into my story today with a link there so that you, and I'll then save it to my highlights under live shows so that you can get to that right away. If you ever notice, like if you are pregnant or you're going through hormonal changes, if your melasma is made worse, there is a hormonal component to melasma. Do retinoids help? Absolutely. It's one of the things that they help with is the hyperpigmentation and the melasma. But yeah, hormone fluctuations made worse by the sun, but hormone fluctuations is the genetic component. Hormone fluctuations, that's the cause of melasma, made worse by the sun. Okay. Can you use this while you're pregnant? No, you would want to, do not use a retinoid while you are pregnant because it will increase the amount of vitamin A into your bloodstream, and it is not safe for pregnancy. They used to believe, and I still believe, but you need to talk with your doctor, that a different gel, which is a third generation ADAPALENE, this was, for many, many years, they said this was safe for pregnancy, and now they're saying to use an azelaic acid instead. So Sam Create user, you would want, if you know somebody who's pregnant, you want to make sure that you put them on or you tell them about the azelaic acid, because you'll still get cellular turnover. You'll still get, a little bit of stimulation of collagen production, but it's very safe for pregnancy and for breastfeeding They used to say this one was, I don't know if they've retracted it, but I'm not hearing that anymore. So you might want to ask your doctor about that. But yeah, that other acid is going to be better for you. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else. That was an azelaic acid. Can I use tretinoin around my eyes and mouth? That's what I was talking about earlier. Yes, you can, but what you will find out is that you're going to be a lot more sensitive in terms of any treatments that you do. You're going to be a lot more sensitive around your mouth, because I talked about the movement of that, and around your eyes, that's the very thin skin, and your neck. Those are the three places that are going to be, I wouldn't say that you can't use it, but you want to use it sparingly, and just remember it migrates. So if you're doing tretinoin around here, when you're sleeping, just know it's migrating. So you don't have to go right up to your lip line, and you don't have to go right up to your eye. But when I'm using something like this, I go right up to my eye. I go right on my eyelid with something like this. And there were a few studies that showed a prescription strength tretinoin. I think they tested it at a 0.05%. They tested it at 0.05% versus the different gel, and they were comparable. I know. It was comparable, the results, without the irritation of the tretinoin. Now, I would have to maybe do one side of my face for a while and one side of my face for a while, but I'm telling you, I've been using this on and off for years, and I love to interweave this when I'm too irritated with some of the stronger stuff. Let's see if there's anything else, and then I'm going to find out which one. Can you use the AHA, BHA peel before microneedling? I would not do that. I wouldn't do that, because you're already, when you're using a peel, Claudia, you're let me see if I can explain it. Here we go, Pictionary again. When you're doing a peel, what it does is your skin cells have layers, right? And these all have little bonds that connect each other down, they all connect, right? What a peel does is it loosens these bonds, it disintegrates these bonds and lifts this up. So it gets rid of these top layers. Now you've got fresh kind of baby skin. not baby skin, because the peels that you do at home are not as strong as the ones in the office. So it's not like you're going to be raw, but your skin is going to be a little bit more irritated. And what you don't want to do, and a lot of what I try to teach, again, I'm not an esthetician, you guys. I'm a 55-year-old healthy aging coach who's a gerontologist, but I look at skin as it's the largest organ, because it is. And we can trick our body into, you know, it behaving like it did when it was younger. We can increase our metabolism. We can increase our muscle mass. We can increase bone density. We can do a lot of things by tricking our body into behaving like it did when it was younger. And we can do the same thing with our skin. So you always want to talk to your dermatologist. You always want to make sure that, you know, you're really testing some stuff out. You're not just taking my word for it and just like, hey, let's just go for it. But I can warn you about a lot of different stuff, Claudia, because I've been on this planet a long time and I've been doing this for a long time. If you do an AHA, BHA peel before microneedling, you're going to increase your chance of infection, because you've just now gotten rid of a layer of protection, right? You've gotten rid of a layer of protection, so there's a lot more open blood vessels and a lot more things that you could be susceptible to when you're microneedling, creating trauma. You want to make sure that your skin, you know, a lot of people stop using a retinoid the night before microneedling. I don't do that. But I definitely would not do a peel. If your body is used to your retinoids to the point where you're not raw and peeling, you don't need to stop their retinoids prior to doing microneedling. But you do not want to introduce something new, or even something that you do like on a weekly basis. You wouldn't want to do that to increase irritation right before microneedling. What do you recommend for saggy neck? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Do you recommend Sculptra for the lower face for wrinkles? I don't recommend any type of filler for the lower face at all. That's not where we lose fat in our skin. Let's see if I have something in here where I can show you. Yes. When we lose fat in our skin, in our face, we're not losing fat in the bottom of our face. We're losing fat, the fat support around the top part of our face, that then causes this to sink down, causes the muscle to sink down, the skin to sink down, right? This is when we're 20. This is probably when we're like 50, my age, 55. But this is what happens. So when you're putting injections in the lower face, you want to make sure that you're only doing, this was actually a really great question, because Sculptra is very different than fillers. So you wouldn't use it to fill wrinkles on the lower face, and you would never want to do, my opinion, based on the anatomy of the face, I would never want to do any sort of injections to puff up wrinkles on the lower face, because that's not how wrinkles are caused. Wrinkles aren't caused, and even like a nasolabial fold is not caused by you losing fat right here. It's by you losing fat up here, and then the muscle, and losing bone, because we lose bone as we age. So you lose bone, you lose fat, and then that causes a sagging. So when you inject anything in the lower face, you're only increasing this heaviness on the bottom. Sculptra is different though, so that's why this is a great question. Well, all questions are great questions, right? But Sculptra is different. So I wouldn't use it to fill up the lower face wrinkles, but you could use it to stimulate collagen, which will innately decrease the wrinkles by stimulating collagen. So that's the way you would do it. So yes, so you could use Sculptra here. You could use small amounts of Sculptra kind of everywhere, just kind of stimulate collagen, but it's not going to fill in a wrinkle like you would like a Juvederm or I can't even think of the other names of them. Anyways, it'll come to me. But yeah, it wouldn't work as a regular filler. So when you talk about using Sculptra, I don't like to talk about it with wrinkles, because that's not the goal. The goal is to increase the health of the skin and to stimulate collagen production, which the wrinkles will improve. Staying asleep at night. I want to do, somebody just said, okay, JDeg75, totally off topic. That's okay. But you're having a hard time sleeping at night. I'm going to be doing a protocol on sleep. because that's why I was out in the front getting some light on my eyes, because it's going to make me a lot more sleepy when it gets to be later at night. So I'm getting some sun exposure in the morning, but I'm making a sleep protocol, and I'm going to go over that. Okay, I'm getting back to the retinoids. Again, you guys, for the winner of the WellCore at-home test kit for hormones, I'm going to give you guys another chance, so I'm going to wait until the end of the day, and then I will announce this in a story who won the at-home hormonal test kit. Again, a lot of things are all interrelated to skin. For those of my friends out there that are menopausal, midlife women, it affects your skin, right? So it's all interrelated. What you eat affects your skin. How you sleep affects your skin. Oh, somebody bought a badge. Thank you so much. Beer y'all. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. But all of that stuff affects your skin. So the way that you sleep affects your skin. Alcohol intake affects your skin. If you're taking stuff, oh, thank you so much. Gosh, these handles. Venti MML. Thank you so much. Been following for years. I've learned a lot. Thank you so much. That's why I'm here. I love it. I love if people are learning something. If you're looking better, you're feeling better, you're living longer. That's like my Marie Kondo of like bringing me joy. I love that. I get people in with the skin, and then I help them live longer and better. Okay, so let's get back to this. So we want to go over the top picks. Which retinoid is best for my skin? Again, you guys, it's all in this guidebook. I want to just show you, because I'm super proud of this. It's been a long time doing this. This is a guidebook to retinoids for your skin. It shows you what is it, what do they do, and the umbrella underneath it. Which is more strong, right? When you're looking at a retinol versus a retinal versus prescription strength tretinoin, it's all in here. It tells you what it helps. What is it for? What does it do? And then we talk about my top picks. Which one is right for your skin? It's all in this guidebook, and all you have to do afterwards is you can DM me the word retinoid. DM me the word retinoid, and this will be delivered straight to your inbox. You need to download it first, whether you get it from my website, Live Young Lifestyle. Thank you so much. I think it's so pretty, right? It's just, I don't know. I really love the way that this one is. It's very, very, very informative. I try to make things as easy and as absorbable as possible, because what I have found on my 55 years on this planet is if you understand what is happening, then you're more likely to continue to do it. You understand the why and the how of things, then you're going to implement them, right? If I told you that, retinoids will help decrease fine lines and wrinkles, you're more likely to use that than I say, hey, just put this on your skin, If you understand what happens and why and which retinoid is right for you, you're going to be more likely to implement them daily into your whole thing. So anyways, I'm loving this guidebook. All you have to do is you send me a message that says retinoids, this will be delivered. You have to download it first to be able to get to where you can click things, where you have clickable links. Download it to your phone first, download it to your computer first, and then you can scroll around and click on things. Otherwise, you won't be able to click. So download it first. For craft's sake, you're so generous and your knowledge. Thank you. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. Okay, so which one is right for you? You guys, we have 15 minutes to figure this shit out. Let me take a little break. What do you think of the TRX peel? I don't know if that's not one that I think I've done at home before. Oh, Christine, 1512. Thank you. Yeah, this is not a pickup place here, you guys. This is a place to learn and to like really learn off of each other. And if you guys think, okay, so Deb, you just put retinoids here. Oh, thank you for the badge, Grana 3DF. Thank you so much. But Deb, instead of putting it here as retinoids, you can send me a direct message or when I post this, just in the comment section, just comment once this goes to my main feed, retinoids, and it'll pop up. Then you download it first. So you click on it, download it first, and then you can scroll around, and it gives you all of my top picks. Listen, it's not the top picks for me. It's the top picks based on your skin type. Based on your skin type. I can tell you what I use, right? I use a combination of multiple different retinoids. By the way, I'm testing this one out by Young Goose. These people know what the hell they're doing with skincare. I'm telling you right now. Science-based skincare. This is by Young Goose. This is their Bioretinal Serum. Yeah. It's 0.5% all trans retinol and biometric lipids. I mean, I'm really loving this one. So I'm testing out products all the time. My favorite, though, I have to say my all-time favorite, which is in here too. So if you look at my retinoids, if you go to my all-time favorites, so Retinal, Retinols, and then I go to my best overall. I'll start here first. So my best overall is obviously the prescription retinols. Wait, hold on one second, because I did body too. I gave you body retinols as well, and retinoids as well. Hold on one sec. Best overall is prescription. I give the body retinols. I give my top picks for acne. Okay, which is the different gel that we talked about, but also La Roche-Posay. That's like a tongue twister. La Roche-Posay has an ADAPALENE gel as well, and I have the link in there as well. But for my retinol top picks, just my overall top picks, I love the Paula's Choice 1%. Great overall retinol. I love it because it also has supporting ingredients like peptides, oats, willow barks, and it helps to soothe the skin. So I'm loving this. Again, the link is right here on the document. If you just send me that message of retinoids, the link for everything that I'm talking about is on this document. I tried to make it super easy for you guys. Another one that I really love, and I actually love this for the body too, because you can spread this. So look at how, when you're looking at a liquid, this is by The Ordinary. This is a retinol 1% in Squalane, which is moisturizing. So for you to be able to put this, look, for you to be able to put this on your body, just on your arms, it spreads a lot easier than like some of the other creams, right? So I love this on my body and the back of my hands, my arms, my shoulders before sleeping. This is one of my favorite ones because it spreads so evenly. And I'm telling you, this comes in 3 different strengths. This is the biggest one that they have, the most strong. It's the 1%. They have a I think they have a 0.5 and I think they have a 0.25. But this is a retinol, 1% retinol with the O. So this is over the counter. This is a 1% in Squalane. So it's moisturizing. Love that. Okay, so that's one of my top picks. Another one that is one of my top picks, you can get this at any CVS or Rite Aid. The Olay 24 Max is great because it's moisturizing. And so you don't need to use a moisturizer over the top of that. Now, you would use this on your face just like you would a cream. But when you want to use something like this on your body, you put little dots so that you can, does that make sense, you guys? So you can spread it more easily. If I were to try to take this and just spread it all around, it's not going to spread as easily as if I put dots and then spread it. You're going to get a more even distribution of that product. Does that make sense? So this is Olay. Listen, Olay's been doing this shit for a long time. Trust the companies like Rock and like Olay that have been doing in that skincare field for a very long time. They're not making handbags like Chanel or Dior or some of these other companies that are doing skincare. Olay's not making handbags, right? They're only doing skincare. The Ordinary's not making eyeshadow. It's only doing skincare. So those are where you want to look. Rock also, and I ran out, but Rock has, it's in here. It's this gold little jar. Rock is the first over-the-counter brand. This tells you how long ROC has been in this game. They're the first over-the-counter brand to stabilize retinol. They're the first, I'm gonna say that again, ROC, R-O-C, is the first over-the-counter brand to stabilize retinol. So all of these other products, the stabilization of them came after ROC. So ROC makes a great one that is a max hydration cream. It's a retinol max hydration cream. I actually love this on my neck and chest and my arms, but also when I'm traveling. If I'm traveling, you know, your skin changes with altitude. Oh, somebody just sent balloons. I don't know what that is, but I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. And Grana 3DS has been using it for years. Yeah. So it's amazing that they've been doing that for that many years. But everything that came after that, all of these other great over-the-counter products that we have where we don't need to get a prescription anymore, was because ROC figured out a way to stabilize that crap. It's good. It's good. Okay, so let's see how much time I have. I'm just gonna try to get through this as quickly as I can. And you know what? I'm gonna do it on this so you guys can kind of see. So we talked about the umbrella. We talked about what retinoids do, right? And now we're gonna talk about what is best for your skin. So when we're talking about my top picks, we just went through my top overall picks, right? This is as if I didn't know what your skin was, or if you're trying out these over-the-counter retinols, if you're trying them out for the first time, this is a good place to start, right? So I give you a couple. I give you different. I give you the ordinary. I give you the Olay 24 Max, and I give you the ROC. Those are great overall over-the-counter retinols, not as irritating as Retinals or the prescription retinols to look for. Now we're going to look at the Retinal. So if we look at retinaldehyde, this is a good way to like think about this, right? Retinol, retinaldehyde, retinal. So anytime when you see a retinal, A-L, know that that is stronger than a retinol. A retinal is stronger than a retinol. And the reason is because it only has one step to be converted to a prescription tretinoin. It only has one step. So this is gonna be your next step. Like if you've been using these over-the-counter retinols for years, you might want to step up to a retinal that is going to be one step closer to a prescription. Okay, so Murad makes a really good retinal. This is an encapsulated vitamin A. It's 2.5 times more as effective as free retinol, while complementing ingredients soothe and moisturize the skin. So this is ideal for balanced oily combination. It's basically, you can use this for all skin types, but it is going to be a little bit more effective, but also a little bit more irritating. Okay, so that's the Murad. And then another one that I like, I'm terrible at pronouncing things, but this is with a retinaldehyde. It smooths the appearance of deep wrinkles, renews and brightens the skin. And so this is a 0.1%. So these two are going to be a lot more irritating and a lot more stronger than things like this, than the retinols, right? So the retinals are going to be a little bit stronger. And then we step it up to the prescription. So retinoids with acne, though, we're going to talk about this real quick. Retinoids were originally developed for acne. And when they had midlife women or midlife people who had adult acne from the fluctuation of hormones, you'll usually get acne like in here when it's hormonal, right? And so when they put people on retinoids for adults that had acne, all of a sudden the adults were like, wow, my skin is a little bit smoother and tighter and less fine lines and wrinkles. So it was originally made for people with acne, and then it crossed over into the anti-aging skincare field. Okay. So the top ones for that, which we talked about already, was the Differin Gel, which I love, and it's also great for sensitive skin, or if you're just introducing retinoids, or you're reintroducing retinoids after a microneedling treatment, this is my top pick for that. This is the Differengel. It's ADAPALENE. It's a third generation. So when you look on this, you've got retinol, retinal, prescription strength tretinoin, and then you have third generation retinoids, which is ADAPALENE, and the TRETINOIN, which TRETINOIN I would never even recommend because it will eat your face up like battery acid. It's very, very strong. So you got to be prepared for that. But this one is very soothing and not. It's very low irritation with the Differengel ADAPALENE. So that is a great product for acne. Now, acne, you also there's instead of retinoids, in addition to retinoids, when you're treating acne, you want to use a benzoyl peroxide. So you can do a benzoyl peroxide wash and leave that benzoyl peroxide on your face for like 5 minutes, then rinse it off, and then you follow with a retinoid specifically for acne. You could also use just a regular prescription strength. And I want to talk about this real quick because next we're going to go over to the best overall prescription strength. Normally when you get a prescription strength retinoid, it comes in 3 different strengths. Exosomes, yeah. I love exosomes, but I can talk about those in a different one. When you're looking up prescription strength, I got all of these from Mexico because they're cheaper there. So when you get these in the airport, I think they're $50 in the airport. So when you're looking at prescription strength, this is in the order of least effective to most effective. And a lot of people get confused onto this because it's about a decimal point. It's just pay attention to the decimal point. So when you're looking at this, you're looking at a 0.025, not 25%, 0.025, which is less strong than a 0.05. A 0.05 is twice as strong as a 0.025. So double the strength, you get to the 0.05. Double this strength, you get to the 1.0. 1.0 is the strongest that you can get in a prescription strength that I know of, that you can get a prescription strength tretinoin. The one that is mostly prescribed and the one that has a lot of the research on is the 0.05 strength. If you've got sensitive skin or you're just starting out and you're still going to go with that prescription strength, you want to get a prescription for it, then I would start at a 0.25. Okay, so those are the best prescription strength. Just really depends on what your goals are, how sensitive your skin is in terms of which one you would start out. But there's a lot of different ways, and I'm going to go over that now because I think that that's what we should be doing now. I give you a whole thing on tips to start retinoids because a lot of the reasons why people don't stick with a retinoid is because you get peely, you get flaky, you get irritated. Sometimes it'll be red and splotchy. It's not the best look while you're getting used to it, but there is a way for you to incorporate it in baby steps. Okay, so I give you that as well. The baby step is to start small. So start small. So if you have a choice, start with the less strength in terms of a prescription. And when it comes to over the counter, you're going to use the Retinol, OL, Retinol. All right. So start small, choose the right retinoid for you. Remember, Retinol, OL, is less irritating. Apply a pea-sized amount in the dots placed around the treatment area, then spread evenly. So if you're going to start this, you could start every 3 days. If you're new, oh my gosh, is that my alarm? Oh, I think that's my alarm. Well, we're getting close to off here anyways. But if you're new to it, start small and then you increase. So you can use it every 3 days and then work up to 2 or 3 times a week, but wait for a little bit. So every 3 days, wait for the next month. Then every other day, wait for the next month. Work up to that every day. And if it starts getting really irritated, you can back off a little bit. Okay, and avoid using if you're breastfeeding or you're pregnant. You want to use an azelaic acid. Yeah, and I think that that's pretty much it. You can always book a one-on-one with me. Just DM me the word coaching. Or consult. Sorry, DM me the word consult. And again, that's my alarm. I gotta go. I don't know why that alarm's going off. if you want my retinoid guidebook, just DM me the word retinoid in the comment section or on direct message when I post this, and I will send you this guidebook. Make sure you download it first before you start clicking around, and I will see you guys tomorrow where I will be doing a microcurrent demo on my full face using the MyoLift Mini, and I will be talking about the Netflix documentary or docuseries, You Are What You Eat, and we'll be talking about vegan versus omnivore while I'm doing a microcurrent treatment on my face. So that's it, you guys. Also look for the story later on where I will announce the winner of the hormonal test kit. All right, have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 11. Oh my gosh, can I get out of here? I don't think I can get out. We're still live, but it won't let me cross out. Maybe it just doesn't want me to. Doesn't want me to get off of here.